The Warriors are currently 9-10 on the season, but they're playing their 20th game on Wednesday against the Trailblazers. I need you guys to show love down in the comments. I need everybody to say Warriors. Go on ahead and comment it down below. Be real with me real quick. Did the Dubs have a Kerr problem? I'm not going to blame the losses on Steve Kerr at all. I'm not blaming it on any certain player either. It's a team effort. But overall, the head coach, I should say, normally gets blamed for these sort of things. So the Dubs don't start winning. Could Steve Kerr potentially be on the chopping block for the Warriors? Welcome into Warriors Today. I am your host, Allie Barefoot. Producer Smitty is right here to my right, and that's exactly what we're breaking down on today's YouTube show, Steve Kerr. Kerr has made some mistakes this season, just like every other coach has. I'm not saying he's better or worse than any coach that's out there, but these mistakes have definitely cost them some games. The game that comes to mind for me, the second time the Warriors played the Sacramento Kings in the regular season. Second or third, I believe. The most recent time, I guess I should say. They play the Kings a lot. And you know what play I'm talking about, too. Moses Moody was on fire during this game. They lost 124-123, and Steve Kerr took Moses Moody out when he was shooting 4 for 4 from the field, 3 for 3 from the three-point line, and he put him in with Andrew Wiggins, who was 1 for 5 that night. 11 points, 2 assists, 1 rebound. I mean, Moody was cooking. I heard you guys in the comments saying, what was this reasoning? Well, Steve Kerr actually did comment on why he decided to take Moses Moody out of that ball game. And overall, he took blame for this. He said, I didn't have my best game as a coach, which all coaches are able to have bad games. He said he should have left Moody in the game. He was rolling, hitting threes, but we overthought it. We wanted to get the best defensive group out there. That's why they put Wiggins back out there. But watch the tape over and over again. That was a really terrible decision. I regret that one. He says he lost sleep over it. Well, Dubs fans lost sleep over that loss, I'm sure. But here's the thing. This isn't the first mistake he's made this season. This is now becoming a trend. Whether you want to call this next showcase a mistake, I personally think going back on your word is just as worse, in my opinion. After Brandon Podziemski popped off in the Timberwolves game because Draymond Green was suspended, Klay Thompson was suspended, Steve Kerr did address Brandon Podziemski's powerful play, having over 20 points, the first Dub to have over 20 points other than Steph Curry this season. He said, look, this kid is legit. He's going to play every night. He's deserved that. He's earned that. He showed us what he can do. This is a real tweet from after the Timberwolves game. This is what Steve Kerr said. With that in mind, Chris Paul and Gary Payton were hurt. Guess who went in when they got hurt? Corey Joseph. Brandon Podziemski did not play that game against the Kings when they lost 124-123. So if you say you're going to play Podziemski and then don't use him at all in a 1-point loss, it makes me wonder where his head's really at in terms of where the roster stands, how he feels about these players. And we all know Steve Kerr plays vet mentality. He likes the veterans on the floor, and I would too. I've got Klay Thompson, Steph Curry, Draymond Green. You got some of the best vets in the league. But he's had some questionable moments this season that has possibly led to a win or a loss moving forward and behind. Well, my first question for you guys today is give me a one-word reaction to Steve Kerr's coaching so far this season. I'm not one to question Steve Kerr. This man has so many accolades. He is so untouchable to me. But we're allowed to have some fair judgment here. I think my one word to summarize his coaching so far would be interesting. I'm not sure where he's going with this team, but I hope he's leading them in the right direction. While you guys are commenting down below, let me tell you about one of our sponsors here on Warriors Today. That is Factor Meals. It is a fantastic meal delivery service. It basically is prepared by chefs, professional chefs, and it can help you have a great meal in under 2 minutes. You can choose from over 35 different meals to fill up your tummy, especially around the holiday season. I don't like to go to the grocery store that many times. It's always a zoo. So the fact that I can have all the ingredients already made, no prep, no fuss, no mess, just a nice, healthy meal right in front of me. They're actually dietitian approved, so it can help you feel good after you eat these kinds of meals. I mean, look at this. Honey mustard chicken, my mouth is watering just looking at this. My box arrived last week. I've already gone through 5 of the 8 meals that I received, and they are delicious. Not to mention, I've had some very nutritious plant-based smoothies. I had mango, banana, strawberry banana. I mean, it is a one-of-a-kind meal service. All you guys have to do is go to factormeals.com/DubsChat50. Use promo code DubsChat50 to get 50% off this amazing deal. Once again, go to factormeals.com/DubsChat50. Use promo code DubsChat50 to get 50% off. Now, when we're talking about Steve Kerr, I'm going to bring up his accomplishments because he is a well-rounded coach. He's been amazing for the Golden State Warriors. I can't imagine another coach coming in and coaching after him, because when you look at his accomplishments, 4 rings with the Golden State Warriors, 1 coming the last 5 years. That's stellar. A 2-time NBA Coach of the Year. That speaks volumes. The NBA All-Star head coach. That one's more of a fun accolade, I think. Team USA head coach. He's been leading our generation of the NBA, and this is now his 10th year coaching the Dubs. This guy has seen and done it all. He's had the resources. He's utilized them very well. I am not dismissing any of Steve Kerr's accomplishments. I think he is one of the greatest. He's definitely up there with somebody like Pop. He's definitely up there with a lot of other coaches that are currently still in the league. But when you take a look around at the league, a lot of these coaches have come and gone with a lot of different teams, and it's really nice to have Warriors fans be able to have the same coach year after year. However, this is the last full season of his contract for the Golden State Warriors. I made a video about this before this season started, that Mike Dunleavy was totally on board with signing Klay Thompson for a contract extension, Steve Kerr signing a contract extension when the time came. However, now Steve Kerr is leading a team that doesn't have a winning record. Not saying that's on Steve Kerr, but I'm just saying there has been some trends in the NBA that could possibly lead to a demise. If you take a look at the list of 4 coaches that were fired just last year, these are all very notable coaches. One, because most of them are still in the NBA now, just with other teams, but they also were good teams last year. Look at Monty Williams, 45-37. That's technically a winning record, but he was knocked out the first round of playoffs. Nick Nurse, 41-41, no playoffs. Mike Budenholzer, he won less than 5 years ago, winning a championship for the Bulls. 58-24, great record. Out first round. Doc Rivers, big one. 76ers can't get past the second round. Boom, gone. Not even a coach anymore. I don't want this to happen to Steve Kerr. I'm just saying the NBA is quick to knock somebody out of the organization if they're not winning. So when you take a look at Steve Kerr's timeline, of course, September 25th is when Kerr said he's not worried about the contract extension. This is the only team he wants to coach for, and he feels like he has that support in the organization. Well, he does. Dunleavy did back him up on October 2nd and said he's optimistic about Kerr's return. Once again, there's no pen to paper here. These are just words from Steve Kerr and Dunleavy. Well, December 5th, which is today, the Warriors have a record of 9-10. Guys, there are still 60-plus games to play. I'm not saying this is now or never, but that's not a winning record. And 2024, Steve Kerr's contract will end if there is no contract extension. So overall, when I think of the Golden State Warriors, I think of Klay Thompson, Steph Curry, Draymond Green, and Steve Kerr. He's the 4th member of the trio in my eyes. No, he's not in uniform, but I think Steve Kerr is a vital piece to the reason why the Warriors do have 4 rings in, my lifetime, I guess, just the past 10 years since Steve Kerr's been there. So I think that Steve Kerr is necessary to stay with the Warriors here. And I don't think Dunleavy wants Kerr to go. I mean, think about it. If you fire Monty Williams from the Suns, he's going to go and coach the Lakers. Well, if you fire Steve Kerr, he's going to go coach for another organization, and that's going to hurt the Warriors, in my opinion. But if the Warriors don't win, are they going to pay a coach and sign a contract extension for not having a winning record? That hasn't really been the trend in the past, but hey, it could always happen, I guess. Never say never. Do you guys think Steve Kerr could be on the hot seat if he doesn't have a winning record for the Warriors this year? Type H for hot seat, type S for safe. I don't know. I think it's too early. I mean, I guess it's not too early to say he could be on the hot seat, so I think I'd type H, but go on ahead and put it down below in the comments because you just don't want him to trend downwards. That's it. If he remains consistent, then Steve Kerr's allowed to have a bad season. He's working with a lot of elements here, so I understand that this is not completely on Steve Kerr, but look, the Warriors blew 2 20-plus point leads this week against the Kings, knocked them out of the in-season tournament, and then against the Clippers, who they beat the day before. Now, he said the Kings that was on them. But the Clippers, they just played better basketball. Once again, the head coach normally gets blamed for this kind of thing. That's just what has happened in the past. And I found this pretty interesting. The Warriors were 288-4 when they did have a 20-plus point lead under Steve Kerr, but now that's gone up to 6 games since they did blow the Kings and the Clippers game. That's a phenomenal stat for Steve Kerr to win 288 games and holding that lead. But the fact that you just added 2 more in the same week, I just hope this isn't becoming a trend where you're going to spiral downwards, because he can only control so much in the game. I saw him get angry when Draymond Green got ejected and Klay Thompson. He's sticking up for his players. He's given a lot of credit back to the players, saying, hey, look, we wouldn't even have these rings if it wasn't for somebody like Draymond. He's an advocate for his players, and I love to see that. But when you make decisions like Moses Moody and Brandon Pajemski, it makes me wonder where you're going with this, Steve Kerr. And look, it's not all on Steve Kerr. Klay Thompson's not playing as well as he has. Andrew Wiggins isn't very happy in the Warriors organization and vice versa. So there's a lot going on externally. The Dubs have struggled on the floor. That's evident. But can Kerr and Dunleavy help them with outside resources, pending a trade, pending a contract extension, or keeping Steve Kerr around? Will this be Steve Kerr's last year coaching the Warriors if the Dubs do have a losing season? Go on ahead and tell me why or why not down in the comments. I don't think this will be. I think he's been here for 10 plus years. I mean, you don't want him, you're not going to fire, Popovich for having a bad year. But I do hope that this is just a slow start and the Warriors can lead to a championship. Go on ahead and put that comment down below and hit that sub button for me.